Hello guys, welcome to this discussion. Right. See, another important document has been uploaded in the PIB website. Okay, that's something related to uh, Lakshya zero Dumpsites. Okay. You know very well in our country the landfilling or landfills very unpopular in our country, especially in the urban areas, the cities. You see, to dispose solid waste, we do not have any sustainable method now, especially the urban. In urban areas, that's called as municipal solid waste actually. So to dispose it, we do not had a sustainable method. So what we were doing, we were dumping. Okay, that was the only solution we had. We were dumping the waste in landfills. At most, if the cities are rich and they have some resources, they used sanitary landfills. Okay, landfills. So in that, we were dumping the waste. So of late, they have many disadvantages also. We have seen that the nearby environment is polluted. The disease is spreading, microbes were breeding. There was an accident in Delhi also in the Ghaziabad Dumpsite. Okay, it's like a huge mountain. They are like huge mountains of trash. They have collapsed and buried some vehicles that were passing by. So this was the scenario, and the waste that is dumped in the landfills until now, it's called as a legacy waste. So the Indian government has brought up a new program in the last year, 2025, with the goal of having zero dump sites, means completely removing these dump sites or landfills by October 26. So kind of they have decided a timeline of more or less 1 year, and in this 1 year, the aim or goal is to remove the landfills or dump sites. Okay. To do this, there is a program, Accelerated Dumpsite Reclamation Program, and along with that, the Swachh Bharat Mission, it was also converged. And by taking help or by converging these two programs, the plan is to achieve the goal of zero dump site by October 2026. Okay. Right. So we will see the key takeaways that are there in the document that we are going to study. India is targeting zero dump sites through the Dumpsite Remediation Accelerator program. Remember this program, shortly it is known as DRAP, Dumpsite Remediation Accelerator program. Okay. From here onwards, we can call it as DRAP. Okay. Next, if you see over 61% of the legacy waste, I explained what is legacy waste. It is accumulated waste in the landfills. Okay, that was already processed. It looks very strange for me that this document is saying already 61% of that legacy waste is actually treated. Okay, but the document is saying it. And moreover, the DRAP program, it prioritizes 214 more high impact sites containing nearly 80% of the remaining waste. Third aspect, if you see, the remediated waste that is repurposed into resources such as road building material, filling low-lying areas, recyclables, and reuse derived fuel. So these are the applications for which the legacy waste is used. So finally the goal of waste to energy is being realized, you can say. Okay. Moreover, once the dump sites are remediated, cities benefit from clean air, safe groundwater, reduced fires, and reclaimed land for infrastructure or developing green cover. We have also seen some, case studies that where the dump sites earlier, once upon a time, dump sites, now they have been either converted into parks, okay, playgrounds, either playgrounds for children, etc. These case studies we have seen. So the point here is you have to see here is the process has now kind of catched momentum in and it is happening in very more cities. Okay, that is what you can see, right? A brief introduction, actually, you can use it to introduce your answers or to introduce your essays. So we will see some introduction about these legacy waste dump sites, etc. So India has seen a steady progress in cleanliness over the past few years. We have to thank the SBM mission, Swachh Bharat 1.0 and 2.0. Now we are in 2.0. Okay, especially the clean toilets are being built. Okay, we have to thank SBM for that. So the initiatives that have been taken under Swachh Bharat Mission, they have strengthened the sanitation and waste management systems across the cities, laying the foundation for cleaner urban spaces. So building on this foundation that we have achieved through SBM, efforts are now focused on remediating legacy waste dump sites. Okay, so focus has now come to here. Okay. These are what are dump sites or legacy waste dump sites? These are large accumulations of waste formed over many years. So that is what we were doing. We were dumping the waste in landfills. You see, eliminating these dump sites represent the next phase of India's urban cleanliness efforts. Of course, they have become a, what should I say, a big headache for many people. In Delhi, if you see surrounding Delhi, many trash mountains are there. Okay, you'll be amazed to see in Ghaziabad, Delhi, they just look like big hills or actually mountain ranges. Okay, so they have become a big headache for the people and for the government. So now we are going to address that. So to accelerate this work, Government of India launched the program, okay, DRAP program, Dumpsite Remediation Acceleration or Accelerator program, DRAP, in November 2025. Okay, with the objective of Lakshya. What is that Lakshya? Zero dump sites by October 2026. So 1 year time frame they have decided, and they are going to remove these dump sites. Okay. If you see the current situation of these dump sites, legacy dump sites, some data or some analysis of it is there. We will look into that. You see, what is a dump site? The dump site refers to the land used by other local bodies or municipal local bodies for disposal of municipal solid waste. Okay, municipal solid waste. Often, this waste is accumulated over decades through unscientific disposal. So there was no solution actually also because our capacity was limited. Our means the city's capacity was limited. So the viable solution at that time for them was simply to transport the municipal solid waste and to dump it in landfills in the outskirts of the cities, maybe on the leased land or on the land of the government itself. Okay. Then, if you go forward, when waste is disposed of in an open dump site, it adversely affects the surrounding environment by contaminating groundwater. All these things, groundwater will be contaminated, soil degrading will take place, air quality will depreciate. Then it also dump sites also release greenhouse gases like methane, which is a highly potent greenhouse gas. Okay, so such dump sites also pose fire hazards. They catch fire most of the times. They attract disease-carrying vectors and emit toxic fumes, leading to long-term health risks for the people who are living near. Okay. So if you have to understand this word, legacy dumpsite remediation, remember this word, it may be asked in the prelims, what is the meaning of this word? Okay, then you shall be in a position to answer that. So it is the process of scientifically cleaning up the old legacy waste dump sites, while at the same time utilizing the inert and C&D waste. C&D means construction and demolition waste for road construction and combustible fraction for energy generation. So the portion of the waste which can be combusted, we burn them and produce electricity. Okay, that is called as waste to energy. And the inert, which is not useful at all, and the construction and demolition waste, we use it for road construction. Okay, that is called as a legacy dump site remediation. Some data is there, very interesting data. If possible, you try and remember them. You can quote this data in the examination. Okay, so approximately 2,479 dump sites have been identified across our country. So roughly 2,500 odd dump sites have been identified in our country. Primarily those sites which are containing legacy waste of more or equal to 1,000 tons. Okay, the sites which are having waste up to more than 10,000 tons or more. Okay, these sites together contain an estimated 25 crore metric tons of accumulated waste. 25 crore metric tons. Okay, spread across nearly 15,000 acres. They are taking 15,000 acres of land. Okay, so this scale of legacy waste is combined by rising urban waste generation. Added to that, more and more the solid waste we are generating in urban areas, it's a rising. Okay. Then if you see the day-to-day data, currently cities produce nearly 1,62,000 tons of municipal solid waste each day. We are producing 1.62 lakh tons of municipal solid waste every day. And the total waste generation is projected to be increased to 165 million tons by 2030 and 436 million tons by 2050. Okay. So in this scenario, in the absence of timely remediation and scientific processing, processing, greenhouse gas emissions from municipal solid waste sector could rise to 41.09 million tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030. So generally, the potential of greenhouse gases, GHGs, we measure their impact in the carbon dioxide equivalent. So that will be 41.09 million tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030 if we do not clean the dump sites. Okay, so keeping all the things in mind, the remediation is underway in 1,428 out of the 2,500 odd dump sites across the country. Over 62% of the legacy waste has already been processed. Okay, once again, I'm saying this 61% or 62%. It is actually very curious to me. So saying that already more than 50% of the legacy waste is treated or remediated. Okay, so how to go and check other sources whether this is correct or not, but this document is claiming. Okay, so under this DRAP program, Dumpsite Remediation Accelerator program, 214 dumpsites have been identified as high impact sites. Means in these sites, a lot of waste is there. Okay, because they together contain nearly 80% of India's remaining legacy waste. So whatever the remaining waste is there, 40% odd, in that 80% is there in rest 214 dump sites. Okay, so these have been identified as priority dump sites. Okay, these sites, they spread over 30 states and UTs covering 200 urban local bodies. So oddly, one city is having one major dump site. That is how you can see it. Okay, and they are accounting for approximately 8.6 crore metric tons of accumulated waste, and how therefore been prioritized for accelerated remediation. Okay, you see the approach to addressing legacy dump site follows a double-pronged strategy. What is it? First is removal of old dump sites. Second point in that is prevent new ones by setting up waste processing facilities. So on the one side, you are treating the waste, already accumulated waste. On the other side, you are making sure that new waste is not being accumulated. How you can do that? By treating on day-to-day basis. Okay. One data point is there. We see that in 2035, 459 Dumpsites across 538 cities in 26 states. They have achieved complete remediation. This is also a little bit, curious for me. We have to once again collaborate on cross-check this information with other sources. But this document is saying that in 2025, 459 Dumpsites, they have achieved a complete remediation with 183 lakh metric tons of legacy waste being remediated. Okay, so very strange actually. If at all this has been achieved, it's definitely a great achievement. Okay. Anyhow, this adds to the cumulative total of 1,138 dump sites, fully remediated across 4048 cities in 29 states, with 877 lakh metric tons of legacy waste remediated overall, not just in 2025, but overall. Okay. So alongside the remediation of existing dump sites, the government will ensure that no new dump sites are created. Okay, very interesting and very useful also if no new dump site is created. So if you see the current remediation status of legacy dump sites, legacy waste quantity, if you see 2,511 lakh tons of legacy waste is there. In that, 1,550 lakh tons of legacy waste is remediated, that is 62%. 38% is remaining. Area, if you see, total area occupied by the dump sites was 15,252 acres. In that, reclaimed area is a 56%, that is 8,483 acres has been reclaimed. 6,768 acres is still remaining under the dump sites. That is 44% of the land area is still remaining. Okay. So alongside this remediation, the DRAP program emphasizes on preventing the creation of new dump sites through scientific processing of all fresh waste. So by using scientific methods, we are going to prevent the creation of new dump sites. Okay. So the land reclaimed from this remediation that will be prioritized for solid waste management infrastructure or developing green cover as equipment. So solid waste management infrastructure will be created in the reclaimed sites, or they will be used for developing the green patches in urban areas. So mostly they're going to be plantation or parks may be developed. Okay, so a little bit we will know about the urban waste and the Swachh Bharat Mission. So over the past decade, India has transformed sanitation landscape through Swachh Bharat Mission. We know it very well, enhancing waste collection, cleanliness, and public health nationwide. Great fruits, great results we have gotten because of SBM. The mission has brought awareness. Okay, you know very well, we have made it in the mode of Jan Andolan, people's movement. So it has brought awareness, built over 100 million toilets, and strengthened the systems for cleaner, safer communities. Moreover, in continuation to whatever the results we have gotten under SBM, the government launched SBM-Urban 2.0 in 2021, that also we developed, deepening the progress further by expanding solid waste processing capacity, promoting segregation at source, and strengthening scientific waste management systems. Okay, so if you have to know about Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0, okay, it is a 5-year tenure mission. So it has a sunset clause. Okay, 5 years time it is given itself to, and with the goal of to make cities garbage free by 2026 through legacy dump site remediation. Then 100% source segregation. What is the meaning of source segregation? At the place of waste generation itself, it has to be segregated, maybe into 2 or 3 categories. Okay, and also by scientific waste management. Key objectives of SBM Urban 2.0, if you see, 100% door-to-door collection of segregated waste, 100% scientific processing and a safe landfill disposal, remediation of all legacy dump sites, and conversion into green zones. The other one is safe transport, treatment, and disposal of all used water, including fecal sludge, without polluting soil or water bodies. Okay, so these are the key objectives of SBM-Urban 2.0. Then if you go forward, the framework to achieve these remedies, 100% removal of these legacy dump sites, the framework that is guiding this guiding this mission is 5P model. So what is that 5P model that is guiding DRAP? That is political leadership, public finance, partnerships, people's participation, and project management. So this is the framework that is the guiding soul behind this DRAP program. Okay, so a little bit we will understand about DRAP strategy, DRAP's 5P strategy. First one is political leadership. You see, for achieving anything, you should have the political commitment shall be there. Without that, it's not possible to achieve great things. So that political commitment or political willingness shall be there. So that's why political leadership comes first. The clear direction and support from government to end legacy waste, that is the first pillar. Public finance, so dedicated funds to speed up biomining, land recovery and waste processing, that is the second pillar. Third one is partnerships, so working with the private players, experts, institutions and cities for scaling up this program. So you can say, in other words, it is a convergence. People's participation, okay, citizens joining through awareness, community action, and monitoring. Then project management, so planned execution, real-time tracking, and the timely delivery of results is also part and parcel of this 5P. Okay. So details are there. You can go through the details, the framework. First one is political leadership. So under the DRAP, senior political and administrative leaders, they play a direct role in accelerating remediation by adopting dump sites. Okay, so earlier there was the practice of adopting the villages. Now the dump sites are being adopted. Okay, so this approach strengthens top level supervision, supports timely decision making, and helps resolve all on-ground challenges more efficiently. Okay, so one such example, you can use it as a case study or example also when you are writing your essay or answer. The Delhi is a 70-acre Balswara Dumpsite or Balswara Dumpsite adopted by Union Minister Manohar Lal. Okay, so on social media there were some jokes also about that one, but here we will study it in a positive. Okay, so between 17th September and 6th November 2025, Balswara remediated 4,79,500 metric tons of legacy waste as part of the ongoing transaction. In the process, 25 acres of the site have been remediated. Of this, 5 acres have been developed with bamboo plantations. Okay, very interesting. While the remaining 20 acres are being prepared for sanitation-related activities and processing infrastructure. So, municipal solid waste treatment infrastructure is being built in rest of the 20 acres. Okay, this is one case study you can look into. Then the second one is public finance. You see, public finance, it provides enhanced financial assistance to cities with the substantial legacy waste loans. Okay. In addition to the funds that are given under this SBM-U 2.0, other financial support includes central financial assistance calculated at 550 per ton of legacy waste. Then disbursement categories of 25%, 33% or 50% of the project cost depending on the city type. Then funding not only available for the legacy waste remediation, but also for the processing the fresh waste, ensuring that no new dump site is created. Then the projects worth of 6,700 crore had already been approved for the 214 targeted sites. Okay. Then if you see partnerships, collaboration with institutions to ensure that remediation activities progress efficiently and at scale. Okay, so the program partners with all these bodies or entities Okay, first one is corporate and PhD partners for financial contributions, logistical support, disposal pathways, and technology integration. State PWs, public works departments, then state highways departments, and NHAI, National Highways Authority of India. Why? To utilize large quantities of inert waste. Means inert waste, you cannot do much with that waste. Okay, they can be used in road construction and infrastructure building. Then cement plants, waste to energy facilities, and industrial units, they are to absorb, process, refuse derived fuel generated from remediation. Then technical experts and engineering partners for biomining solutions to provide them biomining solutions, site assessments, engineering designs, and scientific validation. Then finally, NGOs and civil society organizations for community engagement, worker mobilization, awareness campaigns, and health and safety activities for Safai Mitras and site workers. Then people's participation. If you see communities living near these dump sites, they face a direct impact of fumes, means gases that are coming out of it, fires, odor is bad smell, and disease. So the program engages communities living near dump sites through targeted awareness and participation initiatives, including working with NGOs to organize health camps, awareness drives, and information campaigns. Then promote safe working conditions for the Safai Mitras and the remediation workers. Then use site-specific branding to create a local pride, visibility, and ownership. Okay. Then finally, project management. If you see that, it is the backbone of the DRAP program, uh, which is a stronger technology-enabled project management system that reduces delays and increases accountability. Okay. Right. Then very interesting information is there. Of course, this might not be asked in the mains examination, but definitely this information is useful, very much useful for the prelims. So you try to remember is, we are saying, studying that the legacy waste is being remediated. So where it is going, the waste that is remediated, where it is going, that is what we are going to understand in the next 3 to 4 paragraphs. Okay. So once the legacy waste is biomined, it is a process in which old waste is scientifically sterilized and separated into different usable parts, reducing pressure on the landfills and ensuring that nothing returns to dump site. That is biomining. You see, each recovered material is sent to appropriate reuse or process. Okay. This is using a broader circular economy approach. Very, very, very important. Circular economy, the waste generation will be zero in a circular process. That is the significant part here, which aims to use the resources sustainably by limiting raw material consumption and waste generation through principles such as reducing, reusing, recycling, refurbishing, recovering, and repairing. Very, very, very important. Until now, we knew only three things. Those are reduce, reuse, recycle. But many other R's are there. What are those? Reusing, recycling, refurbishing, recovering, and repairing. Okay, this is what you can call it 5R approach in circular economy. Okay. Just like that, we will understand what is biomining also. There is a potential that it also might be asked in the prelims examination, what is biomining. Then 4 different options will be given. You shall be in a position to identify the correct one. So what is biomining? Biomining is digging out waste from a dump site and cleaning it in a scientific way. That is biomining. Okay. So after the waste is excavated, it is spread out in long rows and allowed to breathe in air, while special microbes, they are these microbes are also called as biocultures. Okay. They speed up natural decomposition. Okay, so this is, I think you have studied the concept of bioremediation and phytoremediation in environment. So it's similar to that one, spreading some special bacteria to eat away the waste or to speed up the process of decomposition. Okay. Then once the waste becomes stable and dry, it is screened and separated, okay, into different categories such as soil-like fines, bricks, stones, metals, plastic, cloth or cloths, and other recyclables. So it will be separated into all these categories. Each of these materials is then sent for proper reuse. For example, for a road construction, recycling and co-processing in industries or for composting, depending on the type of the waste. It can be sent for these many various purposes. Okay. So in this way, biomining converts a mixed garbage hill into usable resources, ensuring that very little is left to go to a landfill. This is what is biomining. Okay. You see, this chart is very, very important. Try to remember it. If you see the hierarchy of municipal waste management, how segregation of waste takes place. Generally, we know two types of segregation or two ways, but third is also there. So first one is wet waste. So what it is, generally it is biodegradable waste. It includes all biodegradable waste from kitchen, markets like vegetables, then meals and fruits. Okay. Then dry waste, which includes all non-biodegradable waste like plastic, multi-layered plastic, paper and glass. Okay. Then C and D waste is there, that is construction and demolition waste, which includes repair and renovation waste. Okay. So how it is treated, the wet waste? Reuse it as animal feed. That is the most preferred one. Next preferable solution for that is, for wet waste, is processing by anaerobic composting. Okay, that is anaerobic vermin and in-vessel composting. Means composting in non-air conditions. Third solution is, it is processed by A. First step, composting, that is anaerobic, vermin and in-vessel. B is bioremediation. Third solution and least preferable one is landfill. Then if you come to dry waste, most preferred action for them is reuse of items such as bottles, carry bags and containers, etc. Recycling them. Then third most preferable solution is non-recyclable portation for energy recovery. Then finally, last solution is landfill. Then for C and D waste, reuse of materials such as bricks, steel, wood, pipes, etc. Then recycling, recycled concrete aggregate, recycled aggregate and soil. Then third most preferable one is processing into like paper tiles, blocks, etc. Then finally it's landfill. So in any case, you see, for any type of waste, landfilling is the final choice. Okay. So only inert fractions and process rejects to be sent to sanitary fields. This is the hierarchy of waste management. Okay. Try to remember it. It is very much useful in the prelims exam. Okay. So this is what we have understood. A little bit in detail, if you see, as part of Dumpsite remediation, legacy waste is scientifically segregated into different material streams. So the following section that we are going to study, it will further, enlarge our understanding about end use pathways adapted for each category of waste, that is remediated waste. So the inert and soil-like material, these are reused to build roads, strengthen embankments, and level low-lying areas, supporting urban development without extracting new raw material. So what is the significance of this one? This helps in reducing the need for fresh sand and soil. Okay, next one is C&D waste, construction and demolition waste. It is the waste from demolished buildings or structure falls in this category. You see, the waste will be processed into paver blocks, tiles, bricks, and aggregates. Then refuse derived fuel, RDF. Okay, so this is the meaning of it is the fuel derived from combustibles in nature, but it is not recyclable, such as soiled paper, soiled cloth, contaminated plastics, multi-layer packaging materials, other packaging materials, pieces of leather, rubber, tire, polystyrene, that is thermocol, wood, etc. This is a refuse derived fuel. So this will be supplied to cement factories, waste to energy plants, and other industries as an alternative to coal. So these materials will be burnt and electricity or energy will be generated. Okay. And then recyclables. Next category is recyclables. These include materials like plastic, paper, metal, glass, and cardboard that are segregated and sorted from the mixed waste. These are processed through recycling, where they are reprocessed to create new products. These are recyclables. Then biodegradable waste. It refers to any organic material that can be broken down by microorganisms into simpler, stable compounds. These include food scraps, kitchen waste, garden waste, and other naturally decomposable materials. Okay. Then only non-reusable rejects are there. They sent it to scientific landfills, maybe sanitary landfills, but and not dumped in the. Okay. So this circular approach ensures that legacy dump sites are eliminated permanently while enabling sustainable resource. Okay. Then further, little bit more information is there. That is waste processing ecosystem under SBM 2.0. Briefly, we will see. First one is strengthening material recovery facilities. Okay, if you see material recovery facilities, strengthening dry waste segregation. If you see 2,900 operational MRFs, material recovery facilities, are being built or they are working. They are sorting dry waste for recycling. With them, 67,000 tons per day. They have the capacity of treating 67,000 tons per day, the waste material. The additional approved capacity is there for 43,800 tons per day. Capacity permissions are given for that. That is something related to material recovery facilities. Then composting plants. Okay, if you see expansion of wet waste processing and composting in that area, if you see 2,800 operational material recovery facilities, they are sorting dry waste for recycling. Okay. Okay. Then 1.14 lakh tons per day processing capacity has been created for that one. Then 47,200 tons per day additional capacity is being approved. Okay, this is something related with wet waste. Okay, then further you go biomethanation and compressed biogas plants. If you see that biomethanation and compressed biogas plants, 131 biomethanation plants. They are processing 4,253 tons per day waste. Our capacity has been created. 145 compressed biogas plants with a capacity of 20,155 tons per day. Okay, they are at various stages of implementation. Then if you see finally waste to electricity facilities that are being created in large cities. Cities with a population of more than 10 lakh are required to establish higher order processing facilities such as waste to electricity plants for the treatment of dry waste. Currently there are 17 operational waste to electricity plants are there, and with a total processing capacity of 20,100 tons per day and a power generation capacity of approximately 261 megawatt hours. Okay, so this is the infrastructure that is created under the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.1. Remember this. This may also be useful for you to quote in the examination. Then some concluding statements are there. You can use it, use these sentences to close your essay or your mains answer. Okay, so the sentences we will see: achieving zero dump sites by 2026 will help strengthen the foundations of modern urban governance by embedding scientific waste management into daily municipal operations and integrating waste pickers and sanitation workers into the formal waste management chain. You see, until now, these were the people who left out of this chain, waste pickers or rag pickers and sanitation workers. Now this policy is trying to integrate these people also into the waste management chain. Okay. Then further, the elimination of legacy dump sites supports the shift from open dumping to circular waste practices, contributing to sustainable development goal of 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. And SDG 12 also, that is responsible consumption and production. Moreover, while at the same time reduced methane emissions from unmanaged waste, further advance sustainable development goal 13, that is climate action. Okay. So in this way, you can conclude this topic. Very valuable information is there. I hope, I feel that this is a little bit boring for you, but very valuable information is there. Just like there is valuable material in the waste and the dump sites. In this document also, boring document, and in this boring class, lot of valuable information is there. You're trying to get it and use it for the examination. Okay, so this is it for today. In the next class, we will come up with another important topic. Until then, you have a very good time. See you next time.